So I thought for today that I would do something a little different with the episode and do like a life update of what's been going on in my life. The last 6 months have been kind of fucking crazy and I've had a lot going on and so many like changes and so much, too many things, way too many things. And I just thought that I would share them with you because I've never done that before. Done like an episode about myself. It's always about like what to do in business. I don't know. I just thought maybe I would try a new thing and maybe you like it, maybe you don't, maybe you skip this episode, maybe I don't give a fuck what you do. But I'm gonna put this out there and just, see what you guys think about it. But I I've only kind of given like hints at my personal life here and there, and I think the last thing that I really talked about was the episode in back in September where I fell down the stairs and broke my head. Um, but yeah, I don't normally get like too deep on the personal stuff. It's mostly business, so we're trying new things. We're seeing where this goes. So maybe you get something out of it. But let's see. The last 6 months or so was, well, obviously snowboarding season happened. I took full advantage of my season pass and I was probably going at least like 2 to 3 days a week. I went on a bunch of trips. I go every year for my birthday on a trip. I say every year, like this has been happening my whole life, but I've only been snowboarding. This is my third full season. I think I went one day like 4 years ago. And then the following year, I went maybe like, I don't know, 7 or 10 days. And then last year, and then this past season, I really like spent a lot of time on the mountain and I fucking love it. And, it's strangely the only thing that I will literally ditch work to go to. And the whole time I was out snowboarding, I was like, man, I feel like, if I worked for somebody else, I'd probably get fired. But there's nothing else going on in my life that I'm like, gonna ditch work to go fucking do. And so it was kind of nice just to, I don't know, just to have a thing again, because for the longest time I played roller derby, played for 12 years, and that was the thing. Like I would always, like, my work schedule, my life schedule was around the roller derby schedule and our competition and like or travel and whatever. So that was always a thing that I was more than happy to ditch work for. But since then, I work all the time. Like work is my hobby, and it's kind of fucking sad, right? Like what a what kind of a life is this? But anyway, it kind of made me realize that I don't do a lot of things for fun anymore, and that's pretty fucking lame. And so I was really leaning into it and really trying to get the most out of it until the season ended. So I went on several trips. So every year for my birthday, we have been going to Sunday River. It started out with like just going snowboarding on my birthday, which is actually what started me snowboarding in general. Is I went for my birthday one year. Um, just to try it out, like took a lesson and fucking loved it. And then that became like the birthday thing I wanted to do. So it went from being like a day on the mountain for my birthday to me going to Maine for my birthday. So we went last year, we went this year, and we went to Sunday River, which is still my top favorite that I've been to. Not that I've been to that many ski resorts, but that one's amazing and I fucking love it. And I will probably continue to go back for my birthday every year. And my birthday's on Valentine's Day, so maybe people think this is shitty, but I don't know, like I fucking hate Valentine's Day and I don't want to spend it doing Valentine's Day stuff. I want it to be my birthday, so I decided the last couple of years that I am taking back my birthday and I'm doing what I want to fucking do on my birthday. And Valentine's Day does not exist in my life. I don't give a fuck. So I go to Sunday River in Maine, spend the week hanging out. Vicky comes with me. We meet our friend Emily up there, and it's a great fucking time. So we went there. back in January I went to Seven Springs out near Pittsburgh with my friends from Florida. That was a really good time. And we went to Colorado with Vicky. We went to Breckenridge, which was super cool. But yeah, it's not better than Sunday River. Yeah, this isn't an ad for them, but it should be, right? I love them. But yeah, I really spent a lot of time going, and my kids were in what's it called? Ski club. So they went every Thursday, I think it was, and I would leave work and go straight to the mountain and meet them there and hang out and snowboard with them. And it was a really good time. And it was really cool to have a thing to do with my kids that they liked, especially my son. Like, me and my daughter pretty much do everything together. We're like the same person. But my son, very different child. He's he would probably have been my like mortal enemy if I were in high school with him. But we are polar opposites and we have almost nothing in common. So it was really cool to be able to have a thing with him that like we both enjoyed and we could do together. So it was really cool. But yeah, just realizing that I can make time for myself and I can let go and like go do something fun and something relaxing and do something that isn't like furthering my business. It's not it's not checking things off of a list. It's not doing something that, there's no goal in mind. I'm literally just going to have fun. And how fucking ridiculous is it that I have to convince myself of this, that it's okay to just do things that are fun and have no purpose or like a goal associated with them. I don't know how I got here, guys. I really don't. I guess I've been in survival mode for a while and haven't really realized it and haven't really known how to get out of it because of that. So, but I did it and I spent the entire winter on a fucking snowboard, living my best life, and nothing fell apart and everything was fine. And I had a great winter. And then, dun dun dun. And then I decided that was too much fun. I need to fuck it all up and I need to go really hard in the other direction. And this is all subconscious, mind you. I didn't like make the conscious decision to overload my plate again and make myself crazy. It just kind of happens. It spirals out of my control, and it's a pattern that I am well aware of. I'm just not really aware of it in the moment. So maybe I'll get there someday. But so January rolls around. So at this point, I had just hired 3 new artists between I think like November to January. I hired 3 new artists in the shop. Not because I needed them, not because I was like desperately hiring someone, but because they were the right people, the right fit at the right time. And I'm not going to pass up on somebody who is clearly going to fit well here, and they're going to represent our shop well and they do good work. Like I'm just not going to pass it up. I'm going to make room, make it work. So 3 new people came in, which meant I had to completely rearrange the shop. I had to move my office. I had like a whole room that I had been using for like over a year, probably almost 2 years, was my office. It was big. It was nice. I had like lots of room to spread out, put all my things everywhere. I had like a sitting area and a desk area. And so I had to make that another tattoo room and make room for these artists that I just brought in. So I had to move all of my stuff over and ask my landlord. We live in this weird building that's like a million rooms. It used to be a bunch of, I think he said it was like a mortgage office or something. So it's a bunch of these weird tiny rooms, and it's kind of a maze to try and like get through all of the spaces. So I have one whole half of the second floor, and then the other half was occupied by another business that moved out, and they had been trying to rent it and couldn't find somebody to rent it. So it had been vacant for a while. So I asked him, there's this weird space in between my side and their side. It was just kind of like a buffer hallway kind of room where it was locked from both sides so that we couldn't access each other's businesses. So I said, you're not doing anything with this. Can I just rent this room and make this my office? And he was like, sure. So move all my stuff into this office, and it's big and it's weird and it has like ugly carpet, and I'm just making it work and whatever. But at the time, I was still kind of like, I feel like my head was really fucked up for a while, where I was like in this weird euphoric stage where I was just like saying and doing things that I normally would probably kind of hold back on. So like asking for stuff and like volunteering for things that were scary, or like I didn't think I would actually get a yes on. So whenever he was like showing me this space, I said, what are you doing with the rest of the space up here? And he says, I'm trying to rent it, but I can't really find anybody. They've had a couple of people look at it, but nobody that's like serious or is going to be a good fit, whatever. And I was like, okay. Well, what do you think about, well, how would you feel about turning this into an apartment so that I could rent it out to my clients and my guest artists when they come through? Because we frequently, like weekly, have people coming out, like clients coming out that are from out of state. They're from 3+ hours away at least every week. And we also have guest artists once or twice a month that come through. And so I was like, this has been an idea for me for a very long time. This is on my goal list. Like I have on my vision board, like I'm going to own a building someday, and it's going to have a tattoo shop in the bottom and an Airbnb at the top for like guest artists and clients. And I just blurted it out and was like, what do you think about doing this? Would you turn this into an apartment that I could rent from you and then sublet to, guest artists and clients and stuff? And he was like, yeah. And he almost seemed more excited about it than I was, which was crazy. But and then he said, we'll do all the work, because he owns a cabinet shop. So he does a lot of construction, like that kind of stuff. So he was all about it and excited about it. And I was like, holy shit, did that just happen? So then, we got through, that was probably in December that I asked him for that. And then January is when the construction started. So I foolishly thought, okay, they're going to start construction in January. It'll probably take like a month tops. And I also had a budget in mind that I thought this was going to cost. And I still, I should know better, just having opened a business and having done an expansion already for the shop, that whatever timeline I had in mind and whatever budget I had in mind, I needed to just double that at least. So it is now, as at the time of this recording, it is May 11th, and it has been, I don't even want to say finished, because it's not even finished, but we, finished enough. May 1st. May 1st is when it was finally done enough to have someone stay in it. And I was thinking February 1st. So, thankfully I didn't have to sign the lease until the construction, everything was done. But goddamn, like the timeline on that was crazy, because it's a really old building, and you just never know what you're going to get with that. Like, you open up a wall and surprise, it's fucking cement instead of wood. like shit like that was happening, where it's like, okay, how do we fix that? And if you guys aren't following it, it's Tattoo Airbnb on Instagram and TikTok, and I have a bunch of videos up of me fixing shit and like doing stuff and learning how to do stuff. It was really a fun project, but it was so much work. It was all consuming, and it just literally took over my entire life. From I think they started mid-January, I want to say, and probably early February is when I got involved, because I'm like, okay, you guys do whatever you got to do with the construction type stuff. And then don't worry about walls, don't worry about floors. I'm going to change it anyway. If you put stuff in there, I'm just going to do it differently. So just don't even fucking worry about it. And so I had to wait for them to do a couple things before I could get involved, but we're like simultaneously like working side by side. And it was just like, I'm I don't do construction. I'm not a fucking contractor. I don't know what I'm doing. And literally every single thing I had to do, I had to learn. Besides painting, I'm really good at painting, like painting walls and stuff. But other than that, holy shit. Everything I learned in my life about construction, I learned after I opened a business. So it's been wild. But it is finally pretty much finished, and I really, yeah, as stressful as it was and as time consuming as it was and how long hours, like I would literally come in here, I would get here like 7 a.m. and work over there as long as I could until my appointment. My appointments usually are at like 11. So I would like work from 7 a.m. until 11 and come over and do tattoo and go back over there after my tattoo, work on it some more. I was coming in on Saturdays and Sundays and just, some nights I would be here until like 8, 9 o'clock. It was crazy. And my poor family, my husband is like, I can't wait for this fucking Airbnb to be done, which fair enough. I get it. But that's kind of upsetting because like it was really important to me. Like this is a dream of mine that was coming true, that I was doing the thing that I have been talking about and dreaming about for so long. I literally got the Instagram for this, like, I want to say like 3 years ago. I was like, ooh, I'm going to get an Instagram called Tattoo Airbnb and I'm going to manifest this. Like if I have the Instagram, like it's gotta happen someday. So I would like post inspiration pictures on there for the longest time until I had like actual things to post. So it was just, I don't know, it was really cool for me, not for everyone around me. Everyone would be like, well, why is nobody helping you? Why isn't your husband up there helping you? Why aren't the people at your shop helping you? Why isn't your apprentice helping you? And the fact of the matter is, guys, I don't ask for help. I'm really bad at asking for help. I'm really bad at letting go of control of things. I am a control freak, admittedly, and I do not want to be disappointed by the work that they would have done. I would much rather be mad at myself for it taking too long and fucking something up than be mad at somebody else for fucking it up, if that makes any sense, which it probably doesn't. But that's just how it is. And I just, had a really, really hard time asking for help. It did come down to the wire where we had a guest artist scheduled to stay in it, and it was like nowhere near ready. And I was in a full fucking panic, and I was supposed to go do this archery event with my husband. I say he loves archery, and I do it because I'm a good sport and I'm also really good at it. And I didn't mean to be, but I am. And so I do archery with him and we go on these trips and stuff. And we were supposed to go camping and do this like archery thing where I'm going to get off topic here for a second, but so you hike through the woods. It's like a 6-mile hike, but you're hiking from target to target. So you get to a target. It's like a 3D target of some sort of animal, and it'll have like the target rings on it. You shoot, you get one shot, and you go get, there's no competition, there's no prize, there's no award, there's no one's keeping track. It's just for you. It's kind of like playing like a miniature golf, but with arrows, I guess that's a fair comparison. So anyway, you shoot your target, then you hike to the next one, and there's like 30 something targets like that. And it's cool. It kind of combines both of our hobbies and things that we like. I like hiking. He likes archery. It's a nice way to meet in the middle. But we're supposed to go on a trip and go camping and do this archery event. And I'm like busting my ass trying to get it done. And it's just not happening. I just can't get it. There's too much to do. Like I have to finish the floor. I had to level the floor before I put the flooring on. And I had to do baseboards, and I had to paint this gigantic room, and I had to put the thresholds in, and like do the cabinet. Like, it was just so, like, my to-do list was forever long, and it just was not happening. And I had to just finally be like, listen, I have to do the responsible thing here and finish the Airbnb. I can't go on this trip with you. And, of course he's super bummed about it, but he was like, well, I'm not going either then. I'm like, no, go, like, it's fine. Like, you go, I'll stay here, and I'll kill myself over this fucking Airbnb. Very dramatic, I'm sure. And, I had to have a small meltdown, and he was like, I'm not going to go. I'm going to come up there and help you. So he did come up and help, and he did all the baseboards for me that day. And I did finish up the flooring in the living room and stuff. And that was like, once the floor was done, that was like the biggest thing on my list, because I had about 15 pieces of furniture that I had to put together, because I bought everything like, online. So it was shipped to me in a box of 5,000 pieces each. And I had to put it all together myself. And I couldn't do it if there was no floor to do it on. I wasn't going to do it on like the shitty like subfloor. So I was just waiting for the flooring to be done so I could then spend the rest of my life building furniture. So I am now a professional furniture builder. If you need help with that, do not call me. I am so burnt out on it. But dressers, beds, nightstands, coffee table, fucking TV, console, like, you name it, I built it. I could write a book about it. But so towards the end, I did get some help, and I started, asking for help, and, giving my apprentice a list, and, what I could let go of, because there were still some things where I'm like, I want to trust somebody to do this. I want to be able to ask somebody to do this, but I know how I am. And if you fuck it up, I'm going to be so fucking pissed off at you. So I gave them like bullshit tasks, like sweep the floor and wash this, and like just, stuff that anyone could do, because, yeah, I'm sure anyone could put furniture together, but I was like, man, if they fuck this up, it was expensive. If they, put a screw through the wrong thing, or like, I don't know. It's stupid. I probably should have just let somebody help me. But it reminds me, there's this episode of The Office where Angela, if you guys are Office fans, I hope you are, but Angela is like the party planner, right? And she's always like, why won't anyone help me? And then the people try to help her, and she just fucking yells at them all the time. And I remember watching that episode being like, oh fuck, that's me. That's me. That's why nobody tries to help me. Man, but that's real. That's who I am as a person. So, but anyway, it is done, or it was done enough by the time that artist got here. And honestly, like, it was so like anticlimactic, because I had like a few more things, and I warned her too. And, she stayed for free because I wanted to get her honest feedback about everything. Like, you stay for free. Tell me everything I need to know, what could be better, what you liked, what wasn't necessary, like the whole deal. And I had to tell her, like, hey, just so you know, this is not up to my standards, and it's going to be missing a couple things, like literally the fucking thresholds over the doors. It looked terrible. And I was like, I cannot, because I bought the wrong ones like 4 times. Every time I bought it, it was like the wrong size and the wrong shape or the wrong height. And I don't, anyway, I had to let go of perfection and allow her to stay there, knowing that it wasn't good enough, at least by my standards. I was like, I'm so sorry. It's not actually finished. It is just finished enough that you can stay here, and it's safe and it's clean. And it is what it is. Like, I did everything I could. I was literally working up until the minute she got here. So, but it was like, well, it's done, and we have our first guest staying in it, and there was no like didn't get like the fanfare and the fucking like sense of relief, you know, like I didn't have that like, yes, we're done, it's finished, this is awesome, I did it, like sense of satisfaction. It was like starting a project, like say you're like start a painting and then someone takes it away from you right before you finish it, and then you're just like not allowed to finish it. And then for the whole week that she was here, I was like chomping at the bit to go over there and like fix stuff and do something, and like work on stuff, because then I'm like, well, what do I do with my life now? Like this has been my life since January, and I have nothing, like I cannot do anything, and it was making me insane. Like, and she's only here for like maybe 6 days, and the whole time I'm just like, oh, like I want to go over there and I want to like work on something. I want to like put the, hang this up or whatever. Like, oh, I got to touch up the paint in that one room. And like, but I couldn't do anything. I had to just let it go and let it be. And it was making me nuts. Anyway, but I survived it. And so now that, she just checked out on Saturday, and I can work on it again this week and finish up those things. And I think everything has come in now, so I can finally finish up the last little bits of things. And then June, we're going to open it to the public. So if you want to stay in Hanover, Pennsylvania, which I don't really know why you would other than to visit us. I mean, I guess Gettysburg is like 30 minutes away if you're into history and whatnot, but we have a really cool, it's a mid-century themed. For now, it's just mid-century themed, but I'm planning to put a bunch of tattoo themed stuff in there as well. And yeah, it looks really cool. And I wish it were in my house, honestly, because it's awesome. So prior to starting the Airbnb, and prior to snowboarding, I was recovering from a fall. And I don't know, I know I mentioned this in past episodes a couple of times, but if you hadn't heard the story, on my booking day in September, I got up to get some water. I passed out on the stairs and fell on the stairs, hit my head on the tile, fractured my skull, had a seizure, dislocated the bones in my left ear, which caused me to lose hearing in my left ear. Partially, I can't hear like any of the mid-tones. Like I can hear really low and really high, but nothing in the middle, which is where like most sounds are. And it took me about a month to heal from that. And obviously, like my fracture is healed now, but I still don't have hearing in my left ear. So they said that it might heal on its own. So far, does not appear to be. So that's a bummer. But it's something that at this point I've just kind of accepted, and I kind of, I have my moments where I'm like, it's whatever, it's a joke, like, haha, I'm deaf in my left ear. But, then there's moments where it makes you really fucking sad because I can't hear. And like going to a concert is really shitty. I love going to concerts. I love going to shows, but it feels like, I feel like I'm not there, if that makes any sense. Like I'm very detached from the moment, and I feel like when you're wearing earplugs, which you should anyway, supposedly, but I've never worn earplugs at a show because I don't know, like I just like to be in it. I don't know. But I just hate it. I hate it now. And I go to a show and it's just disappointing. And I also love to sing, and it's really hard to sing when you can't hear properly, can't hear yourself. It's very frustrating. So that will bum me out a lot as well. But I still don't really know why I passed out. That was actually the 4th time I passed out. And since then, I passed out again on my birthday, which was wonderful. But I think I've narrowed it down to a couple things. I think the biggest thing is just listening to my body. Like I'm clearly not getting a message that my body is trying to tell me. And that's the biggest thing I got from this last one, where I was like, okay, the fuck is going on? Why do I keep passing out? what message am I not getting here? And I think the message is that I am working too much. I don't think that's what it is. I know that's what it is. Like, it's too much. I need to stop doing the things that don't make me happy, and I need to do more of the things that do and find more joy in things. And if I don't want to do something, don't fucking do it. And I don't really know how I landed on this. This is the message from me passing out, but that is where I landed. And I guess medically, I've narrowed it down to 2 possible things that it could be. One is either POTS, which I cannot tell you what that stands for, but it's basically like my body not regulating my blood pressure properly, where if I stand up too fast, I get dizzy. My vision will black out. It happens very often. That's happened my whole life. And I do chronically have very low blood pressure. And the other thing is anxiety. So that's something that I have not had my whole life, but I do think I have somehow at this point acquired anxiety, and I'm not really sure why. And it's not okay. I mean, it's okay. It's fine, but like, I don't want it. So unsubscribe, please. So the reason I think that it could possibly be from anxiety is because every time I've passed out, I remember thinking about things that really stress me out, and or like being afraid or being really concerned about something. And yeah, I mean, I really don't know what the cause is, but basically I'm just treating it like it's both, and just doing the things that are going to help both of those. So some of the things that I've changed is, well, I finally went to the cardiologist. They wanted me to go to the cardiologist back in September, and I just didn't do it because, I mean, I had to see a million doctors. I had to go see the like neurologist and the ENT, and like it was so fucking much. I had to go for like CT scans and hearing tests, and it was just, I never got around to the one that was probably most important to get done, which is fucking stupid now that I'm like looking back on this. But I did finally go to the cardiologist. He said there's nothing wrong with me. So, and I said, well, what about POTS? And he was like, just stay hydrated. So that's a cool thing if they do. But apparently POTS is just a symptom. It's not a diagnosis. So even if he did say it was POTS, then I would still need to figure out what's causing that. And regardless, the actions are the same. So I just looked up, what do you do if you have POTS? And I'm doing those things because, like, why the fuck not? So, and it's not like anything that is going to harm me if I'm doing that. So, number 1, I quit caffeine, which I needed to do a long time ago. Let's be honest. It was a fucking problem. And I was drinking entirely too much caffeine, and I don't drink coffee. So I was drinking energy drinks, which I'm sure are like a million times worse for you than just drinking coffee would be. So I was drinking probably 400 to 600 milligrams of caffeine a day, and that was on a regular basis. I did not skip days. That was every single day for probably a good 6 years or so, and that's fucking terrible. And I was like, so I could not get through the day without it, and I really just don't want to be a slave to any kind of substance. So I was like, I'm not doing this. This can't be good for my heart. This can't be good for anything. So I quit. And I quit on my birthday. So February 14th. So whatever that math is, I will admit, twice now had a couple sips, and not proud of that. And, it is what it is. I had a couple of hard days and I didn't get through them. And, but it's not something that I want to do at all. So for me to get to the point where I do drink caffeine, I have to be really fucking struggling. And going forward, I plan to not put myself in those positions anymore, because that's the biggest problem, is that I am doing too much and I'm trying to fit too many things into my day, and that's why I get too tired or I don't get enough sleep. So focusing more on doing things and setting myself up to where I won't feel like I need the caffeine. So that being said, yesterday was day number 2, and I don't know why I did it, and I regret it. And it was fucking stupid. And I know that I'm just talking about caffeine, but as a, a former alcoholic, it, it really bothers me that I let myself get to that point where I drank it. But it feels very same, very same, and not great. So not calling it a relapse, but I'm calling it a blip in a moment of poor judgment. So going forward, I don't want to do that anymore. So I'm going to continue not drinking caffeine, because I don't do that anymore. I'm not a caffeine drinker. So that was number 1. And staying hydrated, which, that is an ongoing battle that I'm never going to get to the point where I'm just like, I'm hydrated. Because then there's another day after that where you have to also be hydrated. So it's like a never ending fucking thing that I'm always going to be working on. It's hard. It's hard to remember to drink water when you're in your fucking hand prisons tattooing all day. So, but we'll get there. We'll get there. I got my 2 waters right now that are not being drank. So, but they are there. So A for effort, right? I'm taking supplements. So, magnesium, I can't remember why. I can't remember why I started magnesium, but there was a reason. Was it something that I think it helps you absorb vitamin D better? I don't know, guys. I have a list of supplements that I started taking, and I'm actually taking them and actually making effort, and they are making me feel better. Magnesium also makes me sleep better at night, so I take it before I go to bed. It's like a chocolate powder, and I just mix it with a little hot water, like hot chocolate, and it's good-ish. And it knocks me the fuck out every time. It'll be like 30 minutes later and I'll be dead asleep. So yeah, just staying hydrated, taking supplements, not drinking caffeine, and some of the things that you do specifically for POTS is to eat like frequent meals throughout the day, like small meals throughout the day. I don't really know why they say that. Or yes, I do. I think what they said was when you eat, the blood in your body goes to your stomach to digest your food. So if you ever notice, because this happens to me all the time. Oh my God, I'm just having this weird realization right now. Maybe that is part of my problem too. Every time I eat, I get really fucking cold. And I remember somebody telling me that that's why I get cold after I eat, because all the blood in your body goes to your stomach to digest. And I wonder if because I have some kind of blood volume, blood pressure issue, that's why I feel like I get more cold than normal people do when I eat. Interesting. But anyway, they say eat smaller meals throughout the day and to limit your carbs. So if you eat a really carb heavy meal, I guess it diverts more blood to your gut. I have no idea, but it causes an even bigger drop in your blood pressure. And so, doing that. I mean, I'm not really a carb heavy eater, although I love bread and I love potatoes. They don't love me, and I don't really eat bread just because it makes me feel bad. So I kind of just have cut that out for a while now. Every once in a while I will choose violence and eat it anyway, but for the most part I don't really eat bread. But consciously being aware of how carb heavy my meals are is probably making a difference. And then as far as hydration, I'm not doing the liquid IVs anymore, which I was doing liquid IV and drip drops. And the more study and research I've been doing, I'm realizing that those are not the best. I mean, they're decent. If you don't have an issue, like I have an issue, you're probably fine drinking those, but I needed something more. So I have been using a brand called Perfect Hydration. It's like PRFCT, or even Element is a good one too. Again, it's like LMNT or something like that. So I've been using those to stay hydrated, drinking them pretty much every day. Another thing I'm supposed to do, but I haven't quite gotten around to yet, is strengthening my abs and my legs to promote circulation, like blood circulation through the body, which, my gym routine has been really fucked ever since the last time I passed out. And it's not just because of that. Like, it took me a little bit. I was really going hard back then, and it took me a minute to get back to the gym. And then, like, I have this constant fear, and this is how I know it's anxiety, because I have like anxiety about having anxiety about passing out. And it's like, I just keep feeding the monster. But I was getting anxiety about going to the gym because I was afraid to like pass out, because I would do stuff, or I'd like try to go back to lifting heavy, and I would get lightheaded and it would freak me out. So I kind of stopped going to the gym as regular, and then the Airbnb took over my life, and I haven't made time for it, but I plan to go back to the gym and start working on that. And, abs and legs are probably like my least favorite thing to do. So having an actual medical reason to do them is probably going to be beneficial for me. So fine, fine, I'll do it. Move more slowly, which is my nightmare. I don't move slowly. I move very quickly. I walk fast. I get up fast. Like, the idea that I have to slow my life down sounds miserable, and also sounds like probably exactly what I need in general, like actually. So okay, I'm gonna try, but my husband will yell at me every time, like, I jump out of bed in the middle of the night. He'll be like, get up slower. Like, what are you doing? And I'm like, I'm fine. I'm not going to pass out, but I don't know. Maybe I am. I should stop doing that. But it's just like habit. It's really hard to like stop and slow myself down. It's a me problem. I don't know. Rest. It says ensure adequate rest to manage fatigue and prevent crashes. Listen, I know, I know I need rest, guys. I'm working on it, okay? Manage stress. So practicing relaxation techniques to help manage the nervous system, which I do. I have been doing like different breathing things where, like, I think it's called box breathing, where you breathe in for 4 seconds, you hold it for 4, and you breathe out for 8. And I do that now pretty often. And like anytime I feel like I'm getting anxious, like I just want to calm down. Oh, the other thing is I got an Aura ring, which it like tracks a lot of that stuff for me too. So I can see like my stress levels throughout the day, which is a cool like function of it. And I can see like what was going on when I was feeling stressed, and like in those moments trying to be more aware of it and trying to like calm myself down a little bit. I'm just like a ball of nerves, I guess, anymore. I don't know what the fuck is happening. And I never used to be like this, but I think that it's just the pressure of being a business owner and having so many people counting on me, I guess. I have no fucking idea, but I was never this fucking tightly wound before. It's awful. It's awful realizing what you are and who you are. But yeah, that's all things that I'm working on just to try and like manage that, because I don't want to keep passing out. And as a matter of fact, last night, I don't know for sure if it was happening or what it was, but I really felt like like I was going to pass out, or like it was starting, and I breathed it out, and it didn't happen, and I didn't pass out, and I was fine. So maybe I made it up. I have no idea. Made it up, or I scared it away. One of the two. Yeah. So a few months back, I was really feeling overwhelmed, and I'm like, okay, what do I need to take off my plate? Oh, I wonder if it was, I think it was like right after I fell in February, or right after I passed out in February. I think that I was trying to do less and trying to listen to the message that was telling me I'm working too hard. I'm like, okay, what do I need to let go of? What is not important? What does not fucking matter? What can I get off my plate and try and free up some time and free up some mental energy? And one of the things that kept coming back up for me was the podcast, because I'm like, I don't make any money on this. I don't get anything out of this. I do this strictly to help other people. I do this just because I want to pay it forward and help somebody else out that might need the help, might need the advice, might not know what to do or how to handle a situation. Like, I want to be that person to help somebody. So, but I don't get anything out of it. And it is very mentally taxing sometimes, especially doing the solo episodes where I have to come up with the idea and write the outline for the episode and take the time to record it. And, it's just a lot. And I pay somebody to edit it, and because I definitely don't have fucking time for that. So it's just a passion project, and it's not anything that I'm getting any kind of big return on. And as a matter of fact, like, I rarely ever hear any feedback on it. I don't look at the numbers. I don't care. I just because I don't want to be obsessing about it. So I don't really pay attention to that stuff. But, that was the thing that kept coming up, and I'm like, do I want to do this anymore? Am I gonna hate myself if I stop? And I really couldn't decide. And what the decision I came to was that I was gonna do this for 3 months and do interview episodes only, and then reassess from there. And I guess it's been 3 months. I guess it's just now been 3 months, and I really haven't made a decision. Well, first of all, I haven't done any interview episodes because whenever I moved my office over to this space next door, we ended up, it was like a big room. It was like 20, I think it was 20 by 8. And then when we started building the Airbnb, they were like, we really have to put the bathroom in this room. So we're going to have to cut your office in half. And by half, I mean less than half, because I now have like an 8 by 8 room right now that I'm recording in. This is also my office, and it's very tiny and it's very not perfect, but I didn't have anywhere to record, to interview people. Plus we had construction going on. It was loud. Like, it was just too much. So that never happened. So I never got to do the 3 months of interviews and then reassess. And so here we are 3 months later, and I do still want to do it. I really have been trying to detach myself from like, we have to get an episode out every week, and it has to be on time, and it has to be, a brand new episode. And like, I can't care that much about this. Like, I have to, if it doesn't work out that week, it doesn't work out. Like, I have to be able to let it go and be okay with that. So that's what I've been working on. And, that's why over the past couple of months, you may have seen some repeat episodes, and it's just because I'm trying to buy myself time and mental space. And, I just went to the Baltimore convention 2 weeks ago. We went, as a shop, and so many people were coming up to me and telling me that they listen and that the episodes helped them, and they thanked me for it. And it was really cool and like not something I hear ever. Like, no one ever tells me that they listen. I just assume I'm talking to myself and no one's listening and no one cares and no one hears this stuff. But if you were one of the people that came up to me and told me that, like, honestly, thank you so much for doing that, because it really means a lot. And it made me realize that that was the whole point. And it's not something that I want to give up on. It is really important to me. It is something that, is fulfilling for me and gives me a purpose. And like, it just re-energized me for doing the podcast. So I came back from Baltimore, like all just like ready to fucking record. I'm like, I'm going to record all these ideas. Like, I'm writing down all these different ideas, just brain dumping stuff. But I had to work on the Airbnb, so I couldn't even get to it to do it. So that was really frustrating, but I feel like I'm finally here and able to do that. And on the subject, I'm really trying to convince Vicky to come in and record with me and be a regular addition to the show, because I really think like she's super smart and talented, and like the way we feed off of each other in conversation, I think is great. And so I am going to be recording with her a little later today, and hopefully can convince her to continue doing this with me. So we'll see, maybe she's just like a sometimes thing, and whenever I can get her on, great. And if not, it'll just be me, whatever. We'll see how it goes. But I have been really proud of my consistency with the podcast, because we're coming up, well, I guess November will make 2 years, but about a year and a half of doing this, and I've really, there's only been a handful of weeks where I didn't have an episode, and I really tried to stay consistent with it. And consistency is not really my strong point. It's it's kind of the hardest thing for me. So for me to be consistent with something like this that doesn't pay me, that doesn't give me any reward, is pretty good. And so I am really proud of that. But, even the weeks where I didn't get an episode out, the world didn't end. Like, everything was fine. We got to replay some cool episodes, and I got a little bit of a break that I needed, and, didn't have to stress about it. And it was fine. Like, no one cares. People probably didn't even notice that they were repeats. Who knows? So now that the Airbnb is done and the construction's all done, and I've figured out what to do with the podcast and all of that, I've been really thinking about my personal life, especially like doing the whole Airbnb. I'm like, man, I wish my house was this cool. And I'm like, why isn't my house this cool? Why can't I make my house cool? But it's like, I live in it. Oh, right. Because I'm never there. I don't spend any time in my house. That's why. So, some things that have been on my mind lately is that my kids are about to turn 18 in 2 years. I have about 2 to 3 years left before they're 18. They're probably moving out, or at least have full-time jobs where they're not going to be around anymore. And I really want to make more time for them. I've missed so much, and I really don't want to waste these last couple of years, and I really want to focus back on my kids. So now that I'm in a good place again, I really want to make the time for that. And so I had a bunch of trips planned for this year, but I'm going to cancel a lot of them. Like, I was going all over the fucking place in the summer, in the fall. Like, I had stuff scheduled all the way out to November, and I'm not doing it. And I'm going to plan vacations with my kids instead. And I'm going to focus on doing stuff with them, like being at their sports events, and, I don't know, fuck around and be home for dinner. Like, what a crazy idea. But, and next year I am planning to homeschool my daughter. She's just, high school is not for her. It wasn't for me either. And I get it. And I just don't want to set her up for failure. And I don't want her to think that she's a failure, or think that she's stupid, or that she can't do stuff just because she does things differently than they want her to at the school. Because she's super smart, and she's super talented, and she's such a cool kid, and she deserves better than that, and better than being put into a fucking box that she doesn't fit in. And so, yeah, we're going to homeschool. Am I built for being a homeschool mom? We're about to find out, because it's worth it to me to focus all of my energy into that and set her up for success, even if that means pulling my hair out at some point. So, but yeah, I'm gonna try my best to focus on them and not work over these next couple of years, because I'm not going to get this time back. And I am fully aware of that. Now that we're at the end of their, childhood, looking back, there's so many times where I'm like, fuck, I really took that time for granted, and I'm not going to get it back. And I don't want that anymore. And I also don't want them to move out and then never speak to me. Like, I don't have a great relationship with my parents. I don't really talk to them very much. I'll hear from them like, once every few months. My my dad, I probably get happy birthday and Merry Christmas, and that's about it. And I just want more of a relationship with my kids than I have with my parents. And that's not going to happen by me continuing to be a fucking ghost in our home, up until the time they move out. So I really want to try to like reconnect with them and be closer with them again and, make the best of what we have left. My daughter and I went to go see The Devil Wears Prada too. And oh my God, I love The Devil Wears Prada. Like, I loved the first one so much, and this movie was so good. Greatest sequel ever. And there is a scene, like, I did not expect to cry as much as I did. It was wild. I thought that this was just going to be another like fun ride where Miranda's a bitch and she's like hard ass, and Andy's super cute. And if you guys don't know what I'm talking about, like, even if you're a dude, please go watch these movies. They're so fucking good, like so good. And it has not, like, even if you're not a fan of fashion, like, who cares? Like, I'm not like a fashionista if I'm wearing a hoodie and jeans. However, great fucking movies. So there's a scene where Miranda, she's like this super driven, ambitious, like hard ass boss lady. She's talking to Andy, the other character in the movie, about writing a book, and she says, her exact quote, let me read it. It says, "You should write it and keep in all the juicy bits. How impatient I am, how demanding and imperious, and how much of my children's lives I've missed. Put it all in there because people should know there's a cost. But boy, I love working. I really do. Don't you? I just love it." And I was bawling. I'm like, this probably seems so silly because on the outside, The Devil Wears Prada, like, it seems like a very I don't know, it seems like a very silly nothing movie, but like, goddamn, if that line did not hit me right where I was already like hurting. But yeah, I was bawling my eyes out in that theater. Like, my daughter looked over and was like, are you crying? Because she always knows, because I'll like put my hand up, like do like one of these and try to like hide it and like put my hand over my face for those not watching on YouTube. But I put my hand up next to my face and she's like, "Are you about to cry?" And of course, like, if I'm about to cry, don't ask me if I'm about to cry, because now I'm definitely gonna cry. So yeah, she said that and I just start fucking bawling, and then like she's crying, I'm crying, and she's like, she takes my hand, she's holding my hand. I'm like, "Oh my, you're making it worse, but I love you." But I just felt so silly in that moment, but like, that's so real. Like, people always ask me like, how do you do it all? How do you get everything done? Well, the truth is, I neglect my family. If you put everything into one area of your life, the other areas are gonna suffer. There's no way around it. And I like to think that it was worth it, that, I put in all this time and effort and focus into my business, into my career, so that I can show them that if you work really hard, you can have the things that you want and things will happen for you. And that, that there was a reason for it. And, that's what keeps me going, because I'm not going to have like given up all of that time and wasted it just to give up, So like if I'm going to invest all that time and energy and sacrifice, time with my kids when they're younger and time with my husband and time with my family, like I want it to be for something. So it is something that motivates me and pushes me to continue, because like if I'm not successful in the end, if it doesn't work out, if there isn't a reward at the end of this, then I really did waste it. If I do something great with it, it was an investment, and they will see that and they will learn from that, and they will learn to also work hard and push for things and have dreams and make them come true. And like that's why I'm okay with the life that I've given them, and I have to be okay with it because I can't fix it, right? I can't change it. But now that I'm here, I don't see myself as like, well, I made it. Like I'm at the success point that I've been like trying to get to. Not that I've accomplished all the things and done everything I wanted to and gotten to exactly where I want to be. Nothing like that. But like I have built some things and I've done some things that have been successful, and I am at a good place now where I think that like, okay, like it's enough. It's like Miranda says in the movie too. She says, like, how do I know when to stop? And I think now, not stop, but hold back. I think now is the time for me. And I think that it just means that my focus is not going to be so hard on the business and what I've been doing and the way I've been doing it. So just shifting focus. So, and then when it's time to shift back this way, I'll shift back this way. But, I'm not going to be so stuck and set in my ways and set in like what's important, because it changes from day to day, from year to year. Like it's always going to be different, where my focus needs to go. So I just want to be open to that. But yeah, I definitely didn't think that Devil Wears Prada is going to fuck me up like that. It was very unexpected, but I feel like messages like that always seem to find you when you are least expecting them, but when you need to hear them the most. So it was very well timed in my life. But yeah, so that is all the things that are going on in my life. And just want to share them with you, and maybe you get something out of this, and maybe you can relate to some of it, or maybe I'm just a crazy person and we don't have to talk about this episode again. But do me a favor, if you do listen and you do enjoy this and you want me to continue recording these and continue putting out episodes, I really kind of need to know that, because there are days where I question whether I want to keep going, and I really go back and forth and I really debate it, and without having any kind of, it's not that I need the validation. It's not even that. It's just that I want to know that what I'm doing is doing good out there. So if it is, I need to know so that I can continue to do that. And, if there's the things that I do and say that don't help, like I need to know that as well, so that I can stop wasting my time doing them, like I'm all about being efficient with my time. So if I'm wasting my time in a direction, please fucking tell me so I can stop. And if it's going well, I'll lean into that. So yeah. And if you like this type of episode, maybe I will do more of them, little check-ins periodically throughout the year, and just let you know what's going on with me. But thanks for listening.